So is it best to open the vagina during oral? This is a great question, Marcus. So here, what I want to do is put a picture up again. And, actually, I'm going to bring a model next time. So first, let me say every lady's a little different in terms of what she likes with oral. But I'll tell you this too: if you find that she kind of avoids it, or doesn't really want you to do it, that is a sign that she probably doesn't think you're very good at it and doesn't enjoy it, right? And then unfortunately, she may not be honest with you about what can make it better or what she does like. So what we'll go over then are just some key things that the average lady is going to enjoy more than not, right? So first, let's start with then what would be considered annoying, right? It is annoying if you just open it up and go, very annoying. I don't care if that tongue is inside or outside, that's just a no-no. So don't do that. Another thing that's really annoying is spitting on it. In certain instances when you're pretending like, slutting somebody out or something like that, that might be a bit of a turn on. But for the average person, spitting on it is not going to be fun. It's going to lead to a bit of a yeast infection the next day. So nobody really kind of likes that. The other thing that becomes annoying is not knowing what to do with the clitoris once you get it in your mouth. Okay, so two, as women age, the clitoris actually atrophies or becomes smaller. So it might actually be a little harder to find. And what remains sometimes as aging takes place is the skin is still there, but the little clitoris part, the part that everybody's pretty familiar with, is a little harder to find. So one thing that you can do that's kind of pretty fail safe is to, once you locate the clitoris, locate it first with your finger so you know where it is. You don't want to get there and start fumbling around and because then that throws everything off, because a lot of times women are a little uncomfortable with the way she might taste, or she might think she has a little odor, or she might think she's big, or she might have a few hangups. You want to go directly to what you were down there to do. So first, when you get there, you want to make it like, wow, this is amazing. This is enjoyable. So you might even want to make like a sound, like make a like, oh, this is amazing. Like make a hum, right? Because if you're humming, you're releasing nitric oxide down there and you're actually starting to turn yourself on, right? Because typically, if you go down on someone, you want to use this as an opportunity for you to stiffen up, right? Because you're going to enjoy it so much that it's going to be a pleasure to see them get turned on, and then now you can get turned on more, right? So you do a nice little hum, and then what you want to do is you want to take it and put it kind of right in your mouth and just gently go back and forth on it. Kind of think about it like if how you would want her to do on you, this is what you want to do on her, but on a little tiny delicate area, right? Now, two, as we know, since the clitoral fibers actually dip down into the walls of the vagina, you also want to consider using your fingers, putting a little pressure. Some women will like pressure on top, the mons pubis, where like the pubic hair is, and some are going to want pressure inside. Some may not want full pressure, so you can even get away with just putting like the entranceway of your thumb, just right on the entrance to kind of feel it out. But the whole thing is, when ladies say, don't stop, that means don't change your rhythm, don't change positions, don't stop doing what you're doing. And unfortunately, a lot of times, if we say don't stop, the partner may just get so excited to hear it that they switch it, they move the tongue, they change the rhythm. Don't stop means don't stop the rhythm, don't stop the pressure, don't stop the what exactly you're doing. It means stay right there. It doesn't mean this is so good, don't stop, go, do something completely different, right? So no, you don't necessarily have to open it up before you actually commence oral. But what I will say this is every lady has a different experience with her labia minora. right? And I'm sure you've noticed this. Some ladies have labia minora that hang really long and big. Some have really delicate and floral types. So, what you want to do is just be mindful of the fact that most women aren't going to want you sucking on that part. That's most. Some are going to direct you differently, but the most don't. So this also is where good communication comes in. This is where you want to ask, what she likes in advance to kind of know what she does. One way to really tell how women turn themselves on is to just ask if you can watch her masturbate. Ask her if you can watch her play with herself. And if she's uncomfortable with you being there, just say, well, videotape it. Let me see it. Let's FaceTime, and she may not want to put her face in, but she might not mind doing that part, because that's how you get intel as to how to perform it properly. Another thing, sometimes ladies don't want a bunch of spit or saliva everywhere, but some do. So you kind of want to know, is this someone that likes it a little wetter or likes it dry? You can always tell someone who doesn't like a lot of wet and moisture, because when you explode, they're like, oh, I need a shower. Oh, get that off of me. Like those people, they're not going to want a whole lot of liquidy stuff on them, and they're not going to want a whole lot of liquidy stuff on you. So that might be someone who wants a little drier. Then the people who are like, oh yes, I want to swim in it. That's going to be someone who's more likely to want you slipping and sliding down there, right? And so, as she starts to enjoy it, this is where you can actually use your nose, go up and down with your nose on the clitoris, and just really, the more you're enjoying it and the more your partner's enjoying it, then the stiffer you get, the moister she gets, and it just becomes this self-replicating process. So sometimes if it's taking you a little longer to get ready, to get stiff, then what you want to do is have your partner do things that turns you on, so that you can selfishly, or not really, it's not really selfish, but that you can actually work up the turn-ons so that you're actually turned on too. Because listen, when sex starts out, 9 times out of 10, nobody's really all that turned on, right? And the problem is when you're not patient enough to wait for it to happen. Right? She puts her hand down there and you're not stiff. So she's like, oh, like let's just be patient. Let's wait. Let's actually do some things to turn each other on, so that everybody has the opportunity to, and if it's a female partner, for her to get moist, if it's a male partner, for him to get stiff, for you to get stiff. So you got to give yourself grace and understand that it's not going to happen just like that, but it can still happen. And stack the tables in your favor by actually having your partner doing things that actually turns you on, right? And for some people, going down on her is a turn on if she's turned on. Now, there's nothing worse than going down on any damn body and they're being like, this is, it's a turn off. It's an ego blow. Who's going to get stiff during that, right? So you want to get this part right. And in order to do that, don't be jabbing all down there, have a nice firm tongue, put the pressure right on the clitoral area, pay attention to what's happening up above, pay attention to her moans, pay attention to her groans. And then you can actually be in a space where you're like, okay, well, this is getting me hot too, right? Good. Great.